Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Monday, the 19th day of June. Today is International Day for the Elimination of Sexual Violence in Conflict. That should be every day, by the way, just so you know. That should never happen. Ever, ever, ever. World Sickle Cell Day. World Sauntering Day. Good day to saunter, Heidi.
Good day to saunter.
It is. Also National Watch Day, Juneteenth. National Garfield the Cat Day, and World Martini Day. All of these things happening.
Love martinis.
We know which one Heidi's going to celebrate. Also, it's a Movie Star Monday, and I'm excited to chat with my guest today, Gregg. He's in The Avengers, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a TV show called The New Adventures of Old Christine. He was the ex-husband. Really like the guy. Funny guy. Very talented guy. And every one of his characters are so different. He's got a new program out now called Florida Man. It's doing really well. Going to chat with Gregg on this Movie Star Monday.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's more important than ever to have a better credit card. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Scientists in the UK developing peas that don't taste like peas. How do you might like that?
I don't like peas.
Not part of a crafty plan to get children to eat their veggies, though. It's more of a thing they're turning to plant-based foods or hoping to produce more plant-friendly homegrown alternatives to importing soybeans. Peas are high in protein, but it's hard to mask the taste of peas when they're used as a meat substitute. Scientists discovered a gene for pea flavor 30 years ago. At the time, research was stopped because there was no use for it. They're like, who cares?
Yeah.
Well, now they're going, wait. Let's go back to that. That could actually be useful. That could be the basis of a new industry as Belfast plant-based breeding company Germinal works to make flavorless peas as a soya alternative.
Yuck.
So I'm actually a fan of peas. Heidi's not a fan of peas.
Not even a little, no.
So, I don't know. I've always thought...
I don't even like the smell.
When I was a kid, we would have peas and we would have green beans and we'd have corn all the time. Those were things I had never had until I was in my 40s. Broccoli, asparagus, cauliflower, I'd never had any of that stuff. My family didn't do that stuff.
Huh.
I like it all now. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know it takes less than 20 minutes for the average person to know if they want a second date? 2,000.
Yes, I'm sure it does. You know right away.
2,000 single Americans dating or looking for a partner revealed the average respondent knows whether or not they'd like to see somebody again by the 19-minute mark of their first date.
Yeah.
When it comes to a potential mate, physical appearance is important. To 44% is what said that. But a greater value is placed on manners, 51%, personality, 48%, and conversational skills, 47%. And older respondents were found to have higher standards for a potential partner.
Yeah.
67% of Gen Z said they have high standards, but 77% of Gen X said they have high standards. So I'm glad I'm not single because I'd never make the cut for anybody ever. What are you bringing to the table? I don't know. I barely even fit at the table. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Jeff Garland's character in The Goldbergs and Curb Your Enthusiasm may make people laugh, but apparently working with him didn't make folks laugh.
I know. That makes
There's
me
a new
sad.
book, Burn It Down, Power, Complicity, and a Call for Change in Hollywood. Talks specifically about him and some of the problematic issues that led to his dismissal from the TV program The Goldbergs. Pete Davidson has admitted that he and Colin Jost were, quote, very stoned when they bought a decommissioned Staten Island ferry. So Yeah, $280,000 they spent on a boat when they were apparently stoned off their
Good for them.
rockers.
Super
so.
classy.
Yeah, you guys are like role models and setting the
Yeah.
standard and all of that stuff. Maybe don't do that. And Chris Hemsworth is not digging the negativity for the franchise that made him famous, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He spoke with GQ in a new interview about backlash from Martin Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino over the beloved series of superhero films. So there's other people that don't do superhero movies that are like, saying how awful they are.
Right.
They're making billions of dollars.
Right.
So people like them. So, at the end of the day, whether you like them or you don't like them, people do. So let them watch their thing. You watch your thing. All right. We done here? I think
We're
so.
done here.
Big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If that's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current one. Whether you're a fan of iPhones or Samsung, they both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Scientists say they have developed a type of cannabis that does not get you high. Okay, so
What would be the
I don't know.
purpose?
I'm not really sure. I kind of thought that was the whole point. But
I mean,
don't-
unless that's for the health benefits. And
Are there-
people? There are genuinely people who want it for the health benefits,
See?
but don't
Well,
want
then
the
there you
adverse
go.
reaction.
That's-
That could be the reason.
and here we are going, well, what's the point of that? That's the point of that. See, we don't do this, so we don't know. We don't know.
We don't know
just-
anything.
We don't know. Hey, let's move on to something else that we don't know about. Coca-Cola is launching a new limited edition flavor aimed at gamers. For the new flavor called, are you ready? Coca-Cola Ultimate. Okay. The soda maker partnered with Riot Games, which publishes the multiplayer online game League of Legends. Am I saying any of this right?
I'm sure you are. It sounds like
The
it.
line of abstract flavors, each paired with a digital experience, is designed to drum up excitement for Coke among younger consumers by focusing on music and online games. Sounds good in a boardroom, but I wonder if this is going to be real.
I have no idea.
Well, it rolled out globally, and it just recently hit stores. What does it taste like? No official comment, but Coke does say it offers drinkers the taste of, quote, experience points, end quote,
What?
which are earned by League of Legend players.
I don't understand any of
So-
this, but I'm not in that world. So
Here's what this reminds me of. Do you remember Christmas Story, the movie?
Yes.
And Little Orphan Annie was on the radio.
Yes.
And he had to get a decoder ring.
Yes,
and he
I
went
do.
through, and it was drink more
Ovaltine.
Ovaltine.
Yes, I do.
I feel like whoever was in charge of that campaign was in charge of this one.
They're like, that's a great idea.
We're going to give them flavor points. So like, but what does it taste like? We don't want to talk about what it tastes like. Okay. This probably should have been weird news. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To save money on insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. Do you have the best plan for you? Find out at InsuranceChicken.com. Let's face it, we don't even want insurance. We need it. But you don't need to overpay. Head over to InsuranceChicken.com to see your rates from several different companies. All available in one place at InsuranceChicken.com. The other guys have a gecko, a duck, and an emu. Why not a chicken? InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to visit with our guest, very talented Clark Gregg. He's been in a bunch of huge films, a lot of Marvel movies, Iron Man, Thor, Captain Marvel, and many others, plus The West Wing on TV, New Adventures of Old Christine, and he's got a new thing he's doing with Netflix right now, Florida Man.
Florida Man is a really terrific comedic neo-noir thriller set in the madness of Florida. It's about a guy who escaped Florida, played by the wonderful Edgar Ramirez, who has to go back to find a woman for a gangster. I think you can figure it out from there.
And so many times in the news, we'll hear, this bizarre, ridiculous story, and it always starts with Florida Man or sometimes Florida woman, but more often than not, it's the guys that do silly things. And I love the fact that that's where this whole series is set. I think that's fun.
I just Googled Florida Man because I was trying to remember one of the names of one of my castmates, And the first thing that came up was Florida man arrested after wife hit with flying chicken wings.
Isn't that crazy? One of my favorites was Florida man robs a store with a alligator. I mean, who would even think to do such a thing, right?
I know. It's a meme for a reason, and I think people will see why when they see this show.
Absolutely. Now, you've had a chance to do some amazing things. As you look at your resume and you see all these fun things from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then a show that I really enjoyed, New Adventures of Old Christine, and The West Wing, and all of these amazing things. Do you ever just kind of pinch yourself and go, do I really get to do this like for a living?
I mean, mostly yes. Anytime I show up on the set of the Avengers or a Marvel show, I do pinch myself. I was a comic book nerd as a kid. I love that stuff. And just to walk out there and play with some of these actors with this incredible script, I'm very lucky. And then the show finishes shooting, and you're like, okay, I got to get another one. I'm out of work. I'm unemployed. I'm a man of a certain age, and I'm unemployed. So it has a lot of thrills, and it has a lot of built-in unemployment.
And so many of the projects you've done are huge blockbuster hits, and the TV shows are gigantic smash hits. Have you had any projects over the years that you did where you go, I just don't get it. Why didn't this catch on like these others? Because so many times they'll talk to people. Well, they'll have this project, this movie, this TV show that was only, marginally successful, but they look back and go, that should have been a bigger deal. Do you have one of those?
There was a movie I made that I wrote and directed called Trust Me. That I would like to say I really liked. I thought it would be huge, but I knew it was weird, like me. I knew it was really taking chances. And I've also noticed that some of my favorite stuff I do that doesn't seem to kind of really catch at the moment, because of the way people watch things now, a couple of years later, all of a sudden you'll see an article and it's kind of trending.
Yeah.
So people find things and really champion them. I love that about what's going on these days.
Well, and the fun thing with this new program that's out right now, Florida Man, again, it's brand new, it's on Netflix, and when people sit down, can they watch like the entire series all at once when this thing drops, or do they have to watch it and wait and watch it and wait?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I should probably know that answer. As far as I know, Netflix's deal is you get them all, and you get to decide when you watch it.
And I think that's the right way, because there's some other programs that are on different things where, we'll give you a few episodes and then you got to wait a week for a few more. And I'm like, it's 2023. We don't want to wait for anything.
I know we don't. But I have to say, there's a show that I'm a huge fan of called Succession, and they dropped a really shocking episode. And I would have been so upset if somebody had watched it the first night and spoiled it for me.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of us got to kind of experience this shocking development together. So I'm with you, but this really this opened my eyes a little bit.
I suppose.
I was really glad this particular show did this that way.
Well, again, the new program is out right now. I'm going to throw a link to the trailer so folks can see that. Any other fun projects that you can talk about that you're working on right now? Because I know how that works in Hollywood too. There's some where we can't hear anything about it because it's all top secret. Do you have any fun projects that we can chat about though?
Oh yeah, I got some real top. You can't talk about the top secret ones. You make them and you aren't quite sure when they're going to come out. So I've got this show, and then you know what? I will say that I think in the next couple of weeks you might see a character show up who looks an awful lot like me on the really funny comedy How I Met Your Father with Hilary Duff.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that show, and they gave me something fun to do, and I think she's remarkable.
Absolutely.
There's another show that's coming out this summer called Painkiller, another limited series for Netflix about the Sackler family that I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be like nothing anyone's ever seen. So that's what I got.
All right. We're going to keep our eyes peeled for those. And right now we can binge watch Florida Man. Thank you so much for your time, Clark. I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
Again, our guest today has been Clark Gregg. The show is called Florida Man. It's out right now on Netflix. I'll throw a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's more important than ever to have a better credit card. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
People who regularly play video games are faster at making real-life decisions.
I could see that because you have to make quick decisions while you're playing.
That's why I don't play video games.
And on the game, there's no real-life consequences, so that's probably why you're a little quicker to just say, oh, yeah, let's just do that.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Your tonsils can grow back Yeah, if there was tissue left behind during the removal process, you could grow your tonsils back.
Interesting.
Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
By walking an extra 20 minutes every day, an average person will burn off 7 pounds of body fat per year.
Okay.
7 pounds a year, 20 minutes every day times 365. That's a lot of walking.
That's
is what
a
I'm saying.
whole lot of walking.
And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The first Ford cars did not have Ford engines. They had Dodge engines.
Really?
Yeah, I believe they were actually Dodge Brothers engines, if you want to get real technical. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive that's correct. All right, several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. A survey found that more money is spent on this hobby than any other hobby. What do you think it is?
Golf?
No, gardening.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
I just read a meme.
I could certainly
online.
relate to that.
Somebody's talking about the hundreds of dollars they spent on this and all the money spent on this. And they're like, and in 12 weeks, I'm going to have 47 cents worth of vegetables. All right. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If that's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current one. Whether you're a fan of iPhones or Samsung, they both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A U.S. driver was arrested after making a wrong turn and ending up in a line to cross the Canadian border while in possession of more than $815,000 in cash and a whole bunch of cannabis. So a 60-year-old male was following GPS coordinates that he had entered improperly. He took a wrong turn and ended up in the border lineup. He had no passport.
Yikes.
He was referred to a secondary examination where officers discovered 399 pounds of drugs, over 600,000 US dollars.
Oh, my.
Coincidentally, 3 days later, a wrong turn landed a female driver in jail after she ended up on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls, and officers discovered that she was in a stolen car.
Oh, my gosh.
So people getting all confused on where they're going and what they're doing. So it says $815,000 up here and $600,000 down here. The difference is Canadian. It's 167 Canadian dollars, 600,000 US dollars. So I just wanted to make sure anybody that caught that little difference, that was the difference. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Best sunburn remedies. Yeah, if you were out, enjoying the weekend and got a little too much sun.
Which happens all the time.
It does. Number 5 on the list of sunburn remedies, cold compress.
Yes.
So that's one. Number 4, pain relievers. They say it's not a permanent solution, but if you take pain relievers, you don't feel the sunburn as much. That's a good idea. I never even thought of that. Number 3, hydrating. Yeah, just drinking water. Hydration is important for so many things, but healing is one of the most important things. Number 2, a cool shower or a cool bath.
Yeah.
I could see that. And the number 1 is what, Heidi? Sunburn
aloe.
remedy? Yeah, number 1, aloe vera. It says it works best when sourced straight from the plant. I tell you, I remember probably the worst sunburn I ever had.
Oh.
It was like 25 years ago, and I got really sunburned, and they said, oh, just put yogurt on it. And when they put yogurt on it, it curdled. Yeah, and they're like, oh, you probably got too much sun. I'm like, I know I got too much sun.
I remember getting aloe straight from the plant whenever I had a sunburn when I was a kid, and
it's all scratchy.
Remember my mom scraping that pokey. Oh my gosh, that was horrifying.
They're so much better nowadays. You kids are so spoiled. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To save money on insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. Do you have the best plan for you? Find out at InsuranceChicken.com. Let's face it, we don't even want insurance. We need it. But you don't need to overpay. Head over to InsuranceChicken.com to see your rates from several different companies. All available in one place at InsuranceChicken.com. The other guys have a gecko, a duck, and an emu. Why not a chicken? InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today from Zig Ziglar. I like Zig Ziglar.
I know you do.
I read his book when I was like 19 years old, See You at the Top, and it was a good book for me to read at that time in my life. It was really, really neat. He says, people often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily.
Yeah, there
Isn't
you
that
go.
a great quote?
That is true.
I think that's a good quote.
That
Good
is.
job, Zig Ziglar. He passed away now. He's gone, but he's got a lot of great stuff that he left behind for us. Quote of the day comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Listen to this headline. Local fire department goes above and beyond helping a family install a tree swing.
How sweet is that? I love that.
Heartwarming display of community service. They went above and beyond their call of duty to assist a local family installing a tree swing in their backyard. So Megan and her family moved to this community from Tulsa, and her daughter had been talking about wanting to put up a new tree swing. Well, they didn't have a big enough ladder for any of the trees because the trees were big. She posted on a local community page, anybody have a bucket truck or a large ladder to help us get a swing up on one of these branches?
Oh, cute.
Somebody recommended the fire department. She said, to my surprise, they messaged me and offered their assistance free of charge.
Oh.
Just a local fire department of 4 wonderful firefighters making 2 little girls' day. They showed up with no waste in time. They mobilized a team. They lent a hand, and they climbed up, and they got to hang this tree swing. It says they were so kind and so friendly. They brought their tallest ladder. They climbed the tree and helped get our swing up. And when it was all said and done, it looks like they all got to have a little ride on the swing, too.
That's great.
This really is great. It says before they left, the firefighters gave the children their own little hats, little helmets, fire helmets for safety, and invited them on the fire truck and showed them around. I think that's really cool.
That's really cool.
What a really nice welcome to town for some people who just moved to that area. I mean, what a great welcome to town. So, and I bet, when there's not a fire, these guys are going, well, we got to have something to do. So
Right.
there you go. And I know we've got several firefighters who listen. Thank you so much for doing that. Huge fans, huge fans. And again, what would we do without firefighters? Well,
That's right.
We'd be in a lot of trouble when we need them. So again, I love the fact that they went out and helped with this little project, and it made a huge difference for this family. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.